Is up, y'all? Welcome back to episode 56 of That's No Moon Pod. Okay, a whole lot of crazy things going on, whether it's Star Wars, Marvel, everything is kind of going crazy right now because we got the Marvels coming out soon and it's not projecting to do well at the box office. I think it's projected lower pre-sales than The Flash was, and The Flash was a disaster at the box office, and just overall everything that led up to The Flash being released, and the outcome was not good, financially, especially. Um, and the Marvels, since they're dealing with the whole strike going on in Hollywood, they can't have these actors and actresses promote their own film when the thing's coming out right around the corner. I think it comes out this week. Um, so what do they decide to do? They kind of take the Black Adam approach and they kind of leak some things out. And by leak, I mean not leak intentionally. I mean, they meant for maybe not all the details, but from what I've seen on the internet, it seems like there's a lot of actual credibility to what these leaks are saying. And yesterday, as I'm recording this on November 7th, my birthday, by the way. But yesterday, Monday, um, they released the final trailer for the Marvels, right? And this will kind of tie into some of the leaks that were going around with the movie, talking about how there was a lot of reshoots specifically for maybe some end credit scenes, which isn't out of the ordinary. Marvel does this, Star Wars does this, every comic book movie does this pretty much nowadays because they're worried about anything leaking out because everything seems to just get out there to the public way before the movie comes out or the TV show. So they have all these reshoots to kind of throw off the public to where if anything gets out, they can switch out whatever it was that got leaked and then put in something else that they had reshoots for. But yesterday, the Marvels dropped their final trailer, and I hadn't seen a trailer for the Marvels since I think probably one of the first ones that came out. Um, and I decided to watch last night's because they were kind of making a buzz about it online. So I was like, okay, let me check it out. Let me see if I see anything that kind of makes me, really want to go see this movie. And I'm watching the trailer. I'm like, okay, it looks like a, whatever Marvel movie that we've seen multiple times now, but it looks okay trailer wise. And then as the trailer starts to wind down, you kind of get this moment to where it looks like there's this hole in the timeline in space, kind of. They have that whole kind of honeycomb looking, um, looks like a just space shield that's kind of blocking other dimensions and time. And there's like this open portal area, and you can kind of see this other planet. It kind of looks like Earth, in the distance, but this entryway is opening up from this other timeline in space, and in walks someone right past the girls in the movie, and they don't show the face, obviously, and you could barely even. It's like a split second moment to where this person or whoever walks in the scene and they're all saying, "Here comes whoever," like they're expecting this person to help them out with something that's going on with them breaking into other realities and time. And going back to the leaks that I was talking about earlier, if you don't want to know about any of these things, then I mean, skip ahead, I guess, but I'll be real quick because I'm not one to get all into the leaks. I don't get excited when I see leaks on my Twitter or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not out there searching for anything that's been heard from. I like to be as surprised as I can be while still, living on my phone screen pretty much. You know what I mean? So when I saw these leaks and I saw the people that were coming out and talking about them, a lot of people that I follow that I think have either credible sources or just overall they have a good feeling about most of these things and they're right most of the time. And what I saw was them talking about bringing back the OG X-Men, specifically like Beast and Storm. And we already know that Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, is the co-lead in Deadpool 3, and Marvel already has the rights to these characters now finally. And we've been waiting anxiously now at this point to where, okay, we got Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine, which is awesome, but when are we getting Cyclops, Storm, Magneto, all these OG X-Men characters that people want to see in live action, more now than ever, I feel like. And if this were to be true, to where they either reshot some scenes with them somehow breaking into the Fox universe, Marvel universe, and then bringing in those characters to come help out the Marvels in this movie. And I said they were doing that whole kind of Black Adam approach because we all know in Black Adam they did the whole thing where Henry Cavill, Superman, might be in an end credit scene in Black Adam. So you might want to go see this movie specifically just in case Henry Cavill's back. And sure enough, since we all knew that he pretty much was because The Rock was pretty much coming out and saying he was, but not saying it at the same time, the Marvels, I feel like, are kind of doing that possibly to get people to go see the movie that maybe weren't having any intentions at all on going seeing it, at least going to go see it in theaters instead of just waiting for it on Disney Plus. Um, and honestly, when I watched the trailer and when this person walks in the scene and they're all saying, "Here they come! Comes this person," you could see the body, the suit, kind of, and the suit is kind of like a whitish suit, kind of like some silver or gray on it, and I'm thinking that okay, this is a woman centric movie. We got three female leads, and the villain is a female as well. I think that person walking in at the end of the trailer of the Marvels is Storm. And which Storm do I think it is? Halle Berry or the Storm, the actress that played Storm in X Men Apocalypse or whatever, the latest X Men movies. Um, and if I remember, I haven't seen those movies in a few years now, but I remember liking Storm in those movies. But I think it might be Halle Berry Storm specifically, and I think if that's the case, if they're gonna go that direction, I think I don't know who would be, a more shocking moment if they're gonna go with some kind of female superhero type character. I think Halle Berry's Storm popping out would be a pretty crazy moment in the film, especially if it's not even an end credit scene. It might just be something that happens at the end of the movie that they need her help with to try to fix whatever problem that they got going on in the movie. And at the beginning of this final Marvel's trailer, they start off with like a homage to Captain America and Tony Stark, just kind of bringing them back somehow in the trailer to kind of give us that, oh, look, it's them, but it's like, what exactly, why are they showing them in this trailer if, are they going to have some type of part in the movie? Not saying Chris Evans and Robert Downey are going to be in the Marvels, but you put them at the very beginning of the trailer and it's just old footage. But if y'all been following the whole thing going on right now at Marvel, last week there was a whole lot of rumors going around, and I think it's pretty much been confirmed by either Variety or multiple other credible sources saying that Marvel is either in talks, was in talks, or I think they might have already gotten something, some kind of deal done, but they were talking about bringing back Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr., Scarlett Johansson, specifically the OG Avengers, ones that we know their fate already in our timeline. But I mean, if they're bringing them back, I don't think they bring Tony Stark, Cap in the Marvels. But if they do some crazy breaking of other dimensions deal in this movie, and then they're bringing in the Fox Universe X Men, I can see where they might be thinking, well, we could bring back Iron Man, we could bring back Captain America, and then we could get all the fans that we lost because those characters aren't in our movies no more. We could get those back if we could just somehow bring them back from another reality or something, right? That's some kind of conversations that they're having. Those ideas are flowing through their minds. There's supposed to be a whole build up to this Secret Wars movie. And another thing that I heard was that Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman were supposed to be the two main leads in the Secret Wars movie somehow. And I think when this whole Secret Wars movie finally is within our grasp, when we can actually see what's coming, it's definitely going to look insane when we finally get to this moment in time and we can kind of figure out who we think is going to be in the movie. But if you're talking about Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman being the co leads in Secret Wars, who else is going to be in the movie, right? If they already supposedly got them two locked up for another movie. And bringing back Tony Stark, Captain America, um, Black Widow, it's like I'm I'm all for it. I'm cool with it. Obviously, I mean, am I gonna say no to that? And people, rightfully so, say, well, yeah, no, it takes away from their deaths and what they sacrificed and all that, and that's 100% true. And I'm low key worried about that with Wolverine in Deadpool 3. Like, I remember watching Logan for the first time in the movies, right? And sitting there and just amazed by the movie. And then the whole time, I remember asking my friends too before the movie, like, are they going to do it? Are they going to kill him? Because it's one thing to, have comic books and things and that, but it's like, are they actually going to kill Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, our Wolverine? You know, are we actually going to see this dude freaking die in this movie? Like, are they going to do it? Because we've literally grown up with that dude, watching his movies. Like, you look at it's the first ever X-Men movie, right? And I was a little freaking kid watching that. I'm 28 today, and the first X-Men movie came out, I think, what was it, 99, 2000, maybe. Um, that's crazy. And I remember sitting there watching Logan, and when he dies, I specifically remember just some girl in the back just like gasping, like no, and like everyone was quiet. Like I feel like no one could believe it. That, and I remember just looking at my friend, like I can't believe they did it. They actually did it. They fucking killed him. But that being said, if RDJ, Captain America, whoever pops up in any of these future projects, I don't know how I'm gonna feel leading up to it, but I don't know. It's gonna be hard for me to pass on seeing those characters back in live action, especially if they can do it the right way. Um, Also, something else that came out was that confirmed that another one of these Marvel movies that is just completely in uh, just a whole different loop of drama going on with its writing and cast and directors leaving, and Blade got confirmed to be rated R, which is huge because if they're gonna do Deadpool 3 rated R, you cannot give us a Blade movie that is not rated R. A PG-13 Blade would not cut it. Which it drives me crazy that the Venom movies that we've gotten should get the same treatment. Because Venom is supposed to be eating fools and just an overall violent character. And because of the PG-13 rating, they gotta tone down so much stuff. And Blade, you need all the blood in Blade. You need, you seen Kill Bill? You need that much blood in Blade, if not more. And a PG-13 rating for Blade would not cut it. And from what I've been hearing, Mahershala Ali was not cool with what's been going on. Almost walked out the door because they got some weird stuff going on with the writing and the directors and all that. Supposedly Blade wasn't even gonna be like the main character in the movie. They were gonna be following these like teenage girls or something, and he was gonna kind of be the uh, Vin Diesel pacifier kind of deal or something, something stupid. And from what I heard, they completely just scratched it all and are gonna pretty much doing the whole thing from scratch, and it's gonna be rated R. And I think that's just a big W for all of us because, like I said, Blade gotta have the blood, and I think just giving them the free range to kind of just do whatever now is just gonna get more and more people excited about finally getting this movie. I'm trying to think of some other stuff that I heard because, like I said, there was a bunch of stuff, Fantastic Four stuff with them talking about some kind of, I don't know if it's in the Marvels or some other upcoming future project, or the Fantastic Four are the only superheroes in their universe, and then somehow they get recruited from somebody to join in the Secret Wars movie. So I think we're just going to be seeing a whole lot of time jump in or portal hop in, whatever. And this is going to kind of be how they're going to introduce us to the Fantastic Four, the X-Men. Hopefully we get some kind of Hulk stuff too. I mean, if there's one movie that they need to make that's an easy moneymaker, he's literally green himself. Why haven't they made a freaking Hulk movie yet? Another one. You got freaking Mark Ruffalo, who everyone loves. And I get, right, the whole rights thing, they just got passed or whatever, but like, dude, that should just be something that's like once they get the green light, no pun intended, to make a Hulk movie, that should be the first thing that they jump on. Forget, whatever kind of show they want to try to get cute with, trying to find the next Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's like, look, unless you find another James Gunn type of dude or girl or whatever, you're not going to be able to find that kind of luck when you're just kind of relying on these cookie cutter filmmakers. A new Hulk movie needs to happen, that's for sure. Um, okay, I'm trying to think of anything else that I missed because I know there was things from last week's episode, that stuff that came out as soon as I uploaded, that I had to wait on, but I guess we'll just close this one out with Loki, right? We got the season finale this week, this Thursday. And if you want to listen to my review from the penultimate episode last week, it was episode 55 of That's the Moon Pod. And this week with the season finale, I'm not going to try to think of too much of what I think can happen because at this point, um, Loki is the god of stories now. And the god of stories is kind of just his version of kind of being more of like what we've been seeing with Loki, how he's not god of mischief anymore. He's more like he's a good guy now. And him having this ability to control his uh just ability to just teleport now pretty much and go any point in time. Um it just opens a whole lot of things up because again it left us on that cliffhanger where he's back with OB, the TVA, before everything just exploded pretty much. and I'm curious to see what Loki does because again, they got quite a bit to kind of fill us in or kind of leave us off with without giving us too much unanswered questions. Just kind of making me a little nervous. Gotta wait and see how long the runtime is for the episode. If it's an hour at least, I think we should be good. But if it's 47 minutes, I'm gonna get a little nervous. But I'm definitely gonna be tuning in. I cannot wait. It sucks that it's ending already. There was also this thing I wanted to touch on real quick regarding this story that kind of came out recently talking about Kevin Feige switching over from Marvel to Star Wars. And this has kind of been a pipe dream, I guess, for a lot of Star Wars fans wanting Kevin Feige to take over Lucasfilm and kind of run the whole show, get Kathleen Kennedy out of there, and have this new, fresh approach from someone who's been there and done that with some of the biggest IP in all of entertainment and has turned numerous projects into billion-dollar success. And again, this has always kind of been a rumor that's always just been floating around. People wanting it to happen. If there was ever a possibility of getting Kevin Feige to somehow get attached to some kind of project in Star Wars, because if y'all remember a while back ago, there was not even a rumor. I think it was a pretty much confirmation from Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm saying that Kevin Feige himself was working on some kind of Star Wars project, whether it was producing or some sort. And then I think within this past year or so, Kevin Feige himself came out and said that actually no, that's not happening. I don't know why that was ever said in the first place. Um, so he pretty much just shot that down, even though Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm, like so many times before, have prematurely come out and said, yeah, we got this person working on this and we're looking to have it released within this amount of time, yada yada. And it's the same old story that we've heard so many times before from Lucasfilm. And it's just Kathleen Kennedy talking out of pocket once again. But if you're looking at Marvel right now and just the state that it's clearly not on the trajectory that it had throughout all those years. It's looking like it's just trying to grab onto something and give us fans something that we can attach to once again. Um, just so many mixed reviews with all the latest projects. Um, seems like a lot of people are getting tired of just that same kind of formulaic Marvel movie system. And I think everyone knows that Kevin Feige is a big Star Wars fan. He knows the lore. He's not just some guy in a suit who, walks around and tells people this is what you're going to do because I say so. he listens to the fans and he knows what fans are expecting out of these characters that so many people love and have attachments to. But do I think that this means he's actually gonna make the jump from Marvel to Star Wars? I mean, I think if he's able to somehow ride the ship into the sunset, being Marvel, and he's kind of able to put whatever future projects that they got going forward on some kind of positive direction that they could build from without him, and they give him a big bag of cash and give him basically the whole creative freedom that he had producing all of the Marvel projects, but you give him that creative ability with Star Wars. He's not going to be out there announcing this and that before they got anyone signed on. He's not going to, act like he's the bigger person in all this when people are criticizing his work ethic or his ability to just produce quality content on a consistent basis. He's going to be able to step in there and take control and set up a plan that's congruent and will actually be able to have some kind of joy and something to look forward to, because right now Star Wars is kind of, it's a lot different how DC is kind of in this weird zone where they got all these future projects coming out that they announced, and for the most part they know what it is and I think what it's going to be about. We just got to wait and see kind of how everything plays out with them. um, and Marvel, they're just on that run of just banger after banger, and then now everyone's kind of not turning against them, but they're tired of the same old, and they want to see something new, something that actually has some kind of substance to it. And Star Wars, on the other hand, we've gotten consistent projects like Marvel, I feel like, in terms of projects being released, besides the movies, of course, but um, the fandom in Star Wars right now, I think after Ahsoka, I think a lot of people really dug Ahsoka, but there was still a lot of people that had problems with it, myself included. But I think for the most part, Star Wars fans considered Ahsoka to be a good show. And Andor, I think a lot of people thought maybe it was too slow, a little boring, which I could definitely see where those people are coming from. But I thought the show was still a good show as well. Mando season 3 had its highs and lows, which really sucks because I think Mando felt like it was always our safe blanket, right? When it comes to Star Wars, it was like, well, at least we got Mando to look forward to. And they somehow were able to find some kind of way to screw all that up. They threw in Lizzo in there with Jack Black, and at that point, you kind of just see where their minds were at when they were, pitching ideas for what to put in a show. And it just all kind of felt like it was chopped up and there were things taken out. And, we got Pedro Pascal in there and he's not even taking off his helmet. I get it, he's a Mando, but it's like, dude, you just had Pedro Pascal coming off of The Last of Us, and you're not gonna have this dude show his face or at least have some kind of camera time to where he's able to flex his muscles and show himself on screen to get people to look at Mando and be like, "Oh, Pedro Pascal, he's Mandalorian. That's right, I forgot. Just watched The Last of Us. I gotta check this out now." Um, and it just seemed like they kind of reverted into some kind of Bo-Katan storyline that still somehow fell flat, you know? And with all that being said, Star Wars community right now is just in limbo, it feels like. Um, I don't want to talk about this too much, but if y'all know Star Wars Theory, he's kind of taken a lot of heat recently. People are putting his private DMs out on Twitter, conversations that he's had with editors and different people that he's worked with, and people are kind of coming at him saying how he's toxic or he's this and that, um and it's not just him. You go on anyone's fan page that talks about Star Wars or anything related to comic books and whatever, and there's just going to be a whole lot of people going after people in the comments. And I have my opinions on different creators and how they portray themselves and the way they come across in their videos, but I don't know Star Wars Theory, and I don't necessarily keep up with what he does online. Um, I do know that he likes to speak his mind a lot more now, it seems like, than when I first um, came across his videos way back in the day. Um, he's a OG in the Star Wars community for sure, and I think um, people are easily attracted to wanting to speak their mind and be seen by people with high status on the internet, especially. Um, and again, I don't know if he's a good guy. He could be. He could not be. Um, and this just goes to show again the whole fandom of Star Wars and Marvel, how toxic it all is right now, and how it can just blow up in someone's face, and everyone pretty much gets to either jump in on this person or coming in to defend. But all this is just not good and not what should be going on with these things that we all love. At the end of the day, we all love Star Wars. And if Star Wars Theory or whoever is, you know, spewing hatred or just doesn't give off the good vibes that you're looking for when it comes to internet content, talking about Star Wars or whatever, then don't watch the guy. Don't watch whoever. Everything, all that is just nonsense. People can say whatever they want on the internet. That's the whole point. That just comes with the territory. And when we all just kind of really step back and look at what we're all kind of fighting over, getting it into with some random person that we don't even know on the internet, it just makes it more and more apparent that something needs to happen. Star Wars needs some fresh ideas coming in because right now, Star Wars and Marvel, they're both kind of fighting to see who's going to make it out on top first, pretty much. And yeah, if I'm Kevin Feige, I'm getting out of Marvel while I can because as long as I could ride this ship and set it off in the sunset and everyone's happy, and I could go into Star Wars and bring this thing back and get all the love and people the way that they're embracing, Hayden Christensen, and we got Ewan McGregor back. We're getting all these things that are little nuggets of hope. And hopefully, the more and more that we get, it'll clean up all this crazy drama with content creators and the fandom, and it'll bring us all back together once again, hopefully. But I think that's going to do it for this week's episode. Like, comment, subscribe. Whole lot of craziness always happening in the world. I'll be back next week. Thanks again for tuning in. Follow me on all my socials. I'm gaming on Twitch every day. New Call of Duty this week. Still posting full comic books on my Snapchat for free, y'all. New releases, variant covers, the whole comic on my public profile on my Snapchat. Again, all the links will be down below. Much appreciated, y'all. Much love. Until next week, y'all stay safe, and I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.